Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's glad to see you again in this video tutorial in Mr. Wendy's class. And today it's time for us to discuss the next material on our business English class, which is related to the job interview. And I have several things to discuss in this opportunity. The first one is scoring related to the job interview that you're going to have later for the examination. And then the next one is about the do's and don'ts about the job interview. And then the last one is about how to anticipate questions in job interview. So now let's begin with the first part. So why does job interview really matter? Yeah, I believe most of you have ever had some kind of interview, but maybe it's not for a job interview, it's for some kind of students exchange interview, but the idea is more or less the same. The purpose of the interview is for you as the candidate to gain the goal that you want to achieve. If it is related to job, then it is expected that you are going to take the job successfully, or if it is related to the finding scholarship or students exchange granting permission, then that is your real purpose for the interview. So because job interview does really matter, it will show the employer or the person who is going to hire you about your first impression. So first impression in job interview is actually very important because that is the very first uh, experience that the employer is going to observe you as a person and as a employee candidate. And then the next one is that the employer will observe and monitor how you're going to communicate with the employer as the boss, or maybe it will make some kind of prediction to the employer about how you're going to post the interpersonal communication with other people in the office. Okay. And then the third one, it is related to the selling point. So if you're having a job interview, it means that you want to sell something that you have in your competence as the employee candidate. So you have to sell the brochure of yourself, what you're good at, what you can do in the position that you apply for, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is why job interview does really matter. Next one is related to the scoring. Yeah, so later when doing the job interview, I have several things that I would like to score from you. The first one is related to the appearance. I know that the job interview examination later will be of via or through online media like this, for example. I mean, not directly face to face, but it will through the online communication. It can be either WhatsApp or Zoom, maybe. So you have to be ready with your appearance. I want you to dress really appropriately, really formally, and if you're a man or a male student, I hope you can be as handsome as possible. And if you're a female student, then just just try to beautify yourself as beautiful as possible. Okay. And then the next one is greetings. So greetings does matter. Like it is like the first one, you greet your employer not only good morning or good afternoon, but you can say something that can be in the form of thanking the employer for having this job interview sessions with you. Yeah, in Indonesia we call that as little basa basi or courtesy. Okay. Then the third one, we have communication. So communication is related to the way you use your language, and also the way the way I will see about your fluency, kelancaran. So if you can use a good grammar, if you can use a good communication skill without making so many grammatical and structure or language function mistakes, that will be even boost your score into uh, the higher one. Okay. And then the fourth one, we have the body language. So during the interview session, I hope you can sometimes use your hands. For example, if you want to explain something like this, you can try to sometimes wave your hands, or maybe sometimes you move your head a little bit like this or like that, but to not move too much or too many times, because that will be weird. And then the fifth is related to posture and eye contact. Posture is the way you sit and the way you pose your body into the camera. So I hope you can make a good situation and condition as effective as possible before the interview, so that I, as the employer, will be able to see yourself in a good angle and good postures. Eye contact. So during the interview session, I hope you can maintain the way you look through your eyes in the camera like this. So you have to respect the employer, in this case me myself. You do not uh, look away from the camera too many times like this, like that, or like this, like that. Make sure that you can see me, stare the camera, so that I can see that you are well prepared for that. And politeness, so I hope you can be polite and take it really seriously. Just pretend that I'm the boss and I'm not going to hire you if you're not polite to me. Next one again is confidence. So the more you be confident to yourself, then I will consider you as being confident, and I can give you higher score for that. The last one is, of course, the responses to questions. So I will ask questions during the job interview, and if you can answer my questions really appropriately and it has a good correlation between the answer and the question, then there will be no problems. But if you don't seem to understand my questions, you can try to ask me to repeat the questions, or just, okay, I will give you some time to think about answering my questions, but do not think for too long, okay? Yes, that's why you need to have some practices. Next one is about do's and don'ts in the job interview. For the do's, the first one is you have to practice, have some simulations. Well, if at home you don't have anyone to practice with, like for example your parents or your family members, your sisters, your brothers, well, I think you can try to talk to yourself. So you can practice talking with yourselves and trying to answer questions. Well, after this I will show you the types of questions that are usually asked during the job interview, so you can read that and you can practice answering questions to yourself first. And the second one, don't forget to review your CV. After you make your CV or application letter later, you have to study it, because I will use the data information in the CV to ask questions to you. And so my question will be depending on what you write in the CV too, or your application letter. Number three, just prepare your documents. Well, in face-to-face job interview, in the case of face-to-face, of course, you will put all the documents inside a map, for example. But since it will be done online, so make sure that you prepare the documents as neat as possible, like your CV, your application letter, or if you want to add some other documents, it's up to you. But the more prepared documents you have, and submit it, then the better the score will be. For the tones, please try not to skip all the above those strategies or tips that I have given to you. Yes, as simple as that. And the last one is related to the common questions in job interview. Well, I'm not going to answer or give you the effective answer for this one because I will discuss this in the next meeting in the Zoom class so that you can learn together with some other friends. The first one is tell me about yourself. Well, it seems to be easy, but it will not be that easy during the job interview later. Next one is what is your motivation in applying this position in our company? Mm-hmm. What is or what are your strengths? What is the weaknesses? Okay, I think I have actually discussed this in the really beginning of the meeting, but I will discuss it again just to make you sure, just to make you understand and comprehend better about the anticipation questions. The next one is what is the most stressful situation that you have ever had in the previous job and how did you overcome that or how did you cope with that? Number 6, what do you do to improve your professional career? Yeah, so as a person you have to you cannot just do nothing with your life without uh, improving your professional career, of course. You have to do something to improve that. Or maybe the last one is among other potential candidates, why would we hire you for this position? Kenapa saya harus memilihmu sebagai orang yang cocok untuk bekerja di perusahaan kami? Yeah, so things like that. I think it is enough for the material theories. Yeah, after this I will give you practice for online assignment, and from that hopefully all these materials will be beneficial for you for the preparation of job interview session that you're going to have as the final examination. And if you have any question you can ask me freely. Yes, and thank you very much for listening and paying attention to this video tutorial. See you next time and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.